So you're thinking of moving to Boise, Idaho? Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about all things Garden City. We're going to get into the top 5 pros and the top 5 cons of living in Garden City. Now, if you're asking yourself, hey, I like Boise, I've heard of Boise, I'm intrigued by Boise, but anytime I hear of Boise and it's a suburb, it's typically Meridian, Nampa, Caldwell, or others. Well, most don't know about Garden City. It's tucked up right next to Boise. It's a small little pocket. There's lots of good, but there is some bad, so you're gonna wanna stick around till the end to hit all 5 pros and all 5 cons. Let's go. If this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below. In this channel, we post videos every single week on all things lifestyle, real estate, right here in Boise, right in the Treasure Valley. My name is Michael Browse. I've lived right here in the Treasure Valley for close to 20 years. My team and I, we help families just like yourself move to this great state of Idaho. So go ahead and reach out. All of my contact information is below as well. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, send me a text, and let's get that move started to Boise. All right, let's jump into it. But before we hit those pros and cons, I want to share with you where Garden City actually is. Now, it's located right between the city of Boise and the city of Eagle. It's a small little town, a small little community, and it's rapidly changing from what it once was years ago to where it's at now and where it's going. I'm going to touch on some of those points in the pros and cons. So without further ado, let's hit those top 5 pros, starting with pro number 1. And pro number 1 is the location itself. Yes, that was my intro, but that is the first pro. That's what people love about living in Garden City. It's close to Boise. So if you want that downtown Boise access without living in downtown Boise or in more expensive neighborhoods like the North End, go ahead and find yourself in Garden City. Amazing location. It's also right next to the Greenbelt and the Boise River. So if you love to jump out there on your bike, go for a run. Awesome features on Saturdays. You can cruise down. There's so much food along the Greenbelt. So the location in Garden City is your pro number 1. Pro number 2, we're talking breweries, restaurants, and live music. Now, Garden City, I told you, has transformed from once it once was at one point to where it's at now, and this has a huge part of it. There's some new restaurants popping up all the time. It's kind of got this different, funky, creative vibe from the rest of the Treasure Valley, but you're always gonna find a great bite to eat, again, especially on that green belt. Awesome access, great food. That's pro number 2. Pro number 3 is the river itself. Yes, I touched on the river in pro 1 and 2, but it deserves its own spot in this lineup because it's an amazing feature and an amazing amenity for people that live right there in Garden City. It goes right through the heart of Garden City, again with the Greenbelt running right along next to it. Hop on that bike, go for a run. You can have easy access to all those restaurants, live music, things to do. So the river itself, whether you want to go fly fishing, if you want to cool down on a hot summer, the river is an amazing spot and a great feature if you're living right there in Garden City. Pro number 4 is the housing variety in Garden City and the price you're gonna pay actually save if you live in Garden City, especially compared to places like the North End in Boise, or if you wanted to live in Eagle. Those homes and those price pockets are a little bit higher than what you're gonna pay in Garden City. Now, the average median sales price is less than $500,000. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some townhomes and some high-rise condos that are popping up left and right on the river there that are, upwards over $1 million. But you can find some spots in Garden City that can put more cash in your pocket and you don't have to sacrifice because you're right there in Garden City, great location, close to the river, close to the Greenbelt, close to downtown Boise, but save that money and put that cash in your pocket. All right, the 5th and final pro is the investment potential. Now, this doesn't matter if it's your first home, secondary home, if you're relocating from out of state, if you're purchasing real estate in Garden City, especially with all this future development going on, and it depends on the pocket that you buy in. If you put your money in Garden City, there's a good chance that it's going to pay off for you in the long run. All right, we've talked about the good, everything that's awesome about Garden City, but we're going to have to talk about the bad as well, right? That's probably why you're here. So without further ado, we have to jump into the con number 1, which it kind of feels like a patchwork field. Now, what I mean by that is there's a lot of rundown areas in Garden City that are not so nice, but with that future development, there's a ton of nice and up and coming neighborhoods and little pockets as well. So you get a little bit of that patchwork feel throughout the city, but that's your con number one. All right, con number two, I'm gonna talk about schools and I'm gonna talk about crime. Now, I'm not talking about the crime in the schools. I'm talking about the crime in and around the city. If your kids are getting out of school and they're walking home from the bus stop, they're walking home from school even, you wanna make sure it's a safe place to live and a safe place to be. So we'll touch on that. But as far as schools go ahead and check out niche.com. That's what I lean on for all my school advice. It can give you the student to teacher ratios, how their test scores look compared to other schools in the area. So go ahead, check out niche.com. I'll put a link in my bio below. But the safety aspect, just like I said, the river's right there, the greenbelt. As much fun as it is to cruise that greenbelt and to check out all these new restaurants and the cool vibe and the funkiness that Garden City has to offer, there's lots of vagabonds, there's lots of different people coming from downtown Boise that might be strolling through. So safety, a little aspect if you live in Garden City compared to other pockets like Meridian, Eagle, or Nampa. But there you have it, con number two. Con number three is the traffic, the congestion, and specifically Chinden Road. Now, Chinden Road is the main artery and runs straight through the heart of the Treasure Valley, right through Garden City. It's only 35 miles an hour right in the heart there. So again, if it's traffic, it can get backed up a little bit coming off the connector. So traffic is something to be aware of. Now, if people have lived in Boise for a long time, they might call Chinden Shinden, like SH. I personally call it Chinden. It's spelled Chinden. Let me know in the comments what you think it is, how it's pronounced. I'm calling it Chinden, but a lot of the local Boiseites, even though I am local, they call it Shinden. Let me know. Con number four is the limited size you have for being so small, the limited space, and the amenities that come with it. What do I mean by that? If you need to go grocery shopping, or if you just need a little bigger box store, call it your Targets, your Costco's, you're gonna have to take a drive over to Meridian or over to Nampa to hit all those things that you might need. So the limited size and space is con number four. All right, and the fifth and final con of living in Garden City is the limited new construction potential. Yes, there's some new things popping up, but you're somewhat landlocked by just being right next to Boise, close to downtown. You're tucked right there next to the river. You're landlocked by all these different things that surround you. So if you're looking for more of a master plan community, something with a community pool, a gym, a workout center, that's not what you're gonna find in Garden City. So that's con number five, is the limited new construction potential. All right, so there you have it. That is Garden City in a nutshell. I've given you my top 5 pros and my top 5 cons of what it would be like to live there. If you want to see a few extra homes that might not even be on the market in Garden City, go ahead and send me a text message below. I have access to other homes that are not on the market, stuff you don't see on Zillow.com, Realtor.com, or other platforms. Go ahead and send me a message. But again, Garden City, centrally located, very close to Boise, close to the river, lots of great things. It's an amazing spot to live. And if you don't live in Garden City, it's not too far to get there. If you live in Eagle, if you live in Meridian, Star, Nampa, you can still get down to Garden City and enjoy those things. But if you live in Garden City, the Greenbelt is right out your back door. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe this video. I post videos every single week talking about the lifestyle, real estate, and more right here in the Treasure Valley.